I'm glad you've asked this because a lot of people have brought this point up. So it's possible that Jesus wasn't white, but it's also possible, and people talk about the real Holy Land actually being Britain, so the United Kingdom, and basically that Britain was the real Holy Land and Jesus is actually from the UK, so is Mary Magdalene. Now what's interesting is, when you look at things like language and culture and basically traditions and religions, all of these things emanate as energy from the land first. So basically the land has its own chakras, like the earth has its own chakras similar to our bodies. And you know how each chakra has its own vibration, colour, sounds that go with it. So you'll hum certain sounds and they resonate with the exact chakras. So this is the same with everything that kind of springs forth from the land. So what's interesting is, we went to Scotland recently, me and my spiritual teacher, and what we found is the word shalom resonates with Scotland like the word actually originates from Scotland. So this is interesting because what it's possible has happened is that they have moved the original Holy Land from the UK, because they even talk about Jesus going to Glastonbury and looking for precious metals, and his uncle was a metal merchant and stuff. So there's a lot of stories about Jesus being in the UK. Also, to be aware of that song, it's almost like the UK's national anthem, where it says, "And did those feet in ancient times walk upon England's mountain green?" And he was talking about Jesus actually being in the UK. So this whole shalom resonating with Scotland is really interesting, because when I say resonate, I literally mean that word, it belongs to Scotland. So this is really interesting, and what's possible has happened is, like, they have moved where Christianity came from to the Middle East, when actually it was from the UK. So what happens then is, when you're in the Middle East and you say the word shalom, it doesn't resonate with the land, so it has no power compared to if you said that word in the place of origin it came from, where it has that power and charge and resonates with the land. It's like trying to put a colour crystal on the wrong chakra. It doesn't resonate, it doesn't work. So it's possible that they've moved Christianity, or the birthplace of Christianity, moved it to the Middle East. So now people don't realise, or that when you practice Christianity or practice the traditions, you're doing it in the wrong place, and so you're not resonating with the land. So when you're saying things like shalom and stuff, you're just not resonating with the land. And I know shalom is traditionally used in the Jewish religion, and Jews didn't believe in Christ, but that's obviously where it all, Christ was meant to have been, was in the Middle East. That's what they say anyway. So it's stuff to think about. Another thing is, if you ever watch any of Robert Seffer's videos, which you really should on YouTube, it's very interesting. People have found mummies of a white species of being bigger than us, so just taller than the average human, with ginger hair in China and Asia. So they're finding these mummies that are older than Chinese and Asian mummies. They're finding them there, and it's like, what is this race of being, these white people with ginger hair? What are they doing over there? So my point is, we just don't know the true history and where people really originate from. So I just want to put that out as food for thought, because we really just don't know. So it's just interesting to think about.